The Shang Dynasty's political structure is quite simple. They had a decentralized governmental structure, which meant that small cities had their own local rulers who were loyal to the Shang emperors. Shang capitals were chosen for political and/or military reasons, although they did become major economic and social centers. The capital did move 6 times. One of the early capitals of the Shang Dynasty was Ao. Another was Yin, and that lasted about 2 to 3 centuries as Shang's capital. The Shang Dynasty also had a very large military.
This bottom central rope represents the Shang. These vertical ropes represent the individual cities in the Shang Dynasty. All of the vertical ropes lead back to the center. This represents the individual city's loyalty to the Shang. Which kept it together.
The first emperor was Tang, who overthrew the Shang Dynasty. Pan Zhang was considered the best emperor because he moved the capital to Yin. Wu Ding was the second best ruler because he enlarged the dynasty through war. Di Yi was responsible for the great decline of the Shang. Shang Yang was the last of the Shang emperors, and he was eventually executed. The Shang's most significant influence on China was its writing. One popular type of writing style that is used today in modern China was based off of the Shang style. They also left a stratified government in China. Bronze technology was used in weapons and war. The Shang Dynasty also left us a calendar, and they created the first decimal system.
This can is building up pressure because I'm shaking it. This pressure represents pressure from the Shang Dynasty at the last emperor. Because he was all like, I want more women and money and power and wine. And people didn't like that too much. Because they didn't like the Shang emperor anymore. The Zhou tried to help the Shang emperor become a better leader, but he wouldn't listen and just kept being corrupt. The bat represents the Zhou going in and killing the emperor and taking over the throne.
One of the most important characteristics of the Shang Dynasty was their use of technology. Through the use of bronze and metallurgy, they were able to further the development of culture.
So how exactly did the Shang Dynasty take over? Well, here's one theory. Through the use of bronze weaponry, the dynasty was able to spread farther than their counterparts who were still using primitive weapons such as wood. In the Shang Dynasty could be muchly compared to a roof in a Minnesota winter. A roof here can pile on, it can take a lot of snow, which protects the house, much like the river would give to the people in the Shang Dynasty. However, also like a roof, if it accumulates too much snow, it can collapse. This represents the flooding of the Yellow River in the Shang Dynasty, which would destroy everything.
So, you may be wondering, where is the Shang Dynasty? As you can notice, the Shang civilization is here, around the Yellow River. It's centralized around the Yellow River for agricultural purposes, and it provided an excellent source for irrigation.
It was this knowledge of the Yellow River that let the Shang Dynasty prosper here for over 600 years. However, the Yellow River was often uncontrollable, so they would use forms of dams and dikes to try to control the water, but they were fairly unsuccessful. This is why the Shang Dynasty is more known for their developments in bronze than they are in their agricultural developments.
The Shang Dynasty ended quite rapidly. The last king became very greedy and was a criminal fool who only wanted women, wine, and money. Many people didn't like this, and they traded their alliances from the Shang to the Zhou. The Zhou tried to counsel this last emperor into becoming a better ruler, but he wouldn't listen. In the year 1122 BCE, the Zhou went into the capital and beheaded the emperor and took the throne for themselves.
So what did the Shang Dynasty leave us, and what was this so important? The one thing they left us was a calendar, which helped us keep up with our AP World readings. Another thing they left us was a decimal system, which helped improve our mathematics.
The Shang Dynasty's trade is a lot like Adam Hunt. They mostly stayed reserved, but occasionally traded with Korea, Mesopotamia, and Japan. Much like Adam Hunt, doesn't talk very often, but will occasionally say something.
You may be wondering, where is